Hey guys, it's been a while since I have done a garden video for you. And today's the day. The reason for it is my garden hasn't been super successful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how it's going, what's failed, and what is doing good. I'm also going to show you my Coleus garden here on the porch, and that one has been stellar this year. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about are my house plants. So let's turn the camera around and go. Let's go see what's happening out there. All right, so let's get started, guys. Right down here are my hostas. These actually did very well this year, considering this is a full sun kind of drought garden we've got going on. Look at that, right? But they did well all season. They're just starting to brown out considering the rain we haven't had in 2 months. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about what's failing in my garden. I think what happened with this is we had so much rain in June that it went through this tremendous growth spurt. And it got huge, it got fast, and then it went to a drought. And it became top heavy, and it just fell away. It looks like a cat sleeps in here, but we know better. Another one of the fails in my garden here is I had a whole bunch of black-eyed Susans planted behind these. I have tried about 3 years in a row now to grow those, and every year they die, so those are not drought resistant for me. Another issue that I had was they did not come out and mulch or manure over my garden in the spring, nor did they trim all the shrubbery here for midsummer. And so because these guys were so overgrown, all the irises that I have planted behind the boxwoods here never grew or never had a chance to flourish. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep those. My daughter Shane may take those to her garden, maybe see what happens next year. But at this point, I feel like I can't even count on those doing well because I don't know what landscaping is going to do. And anybody that's new watching my channel here, I rent. I live in the apartment upstairs. This is my neighbor's garden, and I just play with this because it looks pretty and they don't mind. But we have landscaping crews that come through to do all the shrubbery and do all that kind of trimming and to lay down the mulch. So anything beyond that's where I'm playing with. So that's what's happening with this garden. And the reason I haven't cut this back is because it's coming into bloom. So it's not like the plant's dying out or anything. So it's just, I don't know what to tell you, and I don't know what to do. And at this point, it's just going to stay until probably October when I do a full cut back. This is my other set of hostas here. These also did well. They're just starting to brown out because 2 months of no rain. These are my daylilies. They had a stellar season. This is a crepe myrtle. Isn't that beautiful? I love that this is inside the house, especially when it sheds and everything is all pink. These are my Mexican petunias. Look at these guys. They're growing right up into the tree. And so this is the part of the garden that becomes like awesome. This one here we didn't see a whole lot of success with because I didn't even mention these. Even the little salvias that I have planted along the front here, they did well. They've had 2 cuttings, but the second, cutting, they're kind of smothered out by the autumn joys there. So it's really been a season of just watching what happens because I don't know what to do. But this side of the garden over here has just been doing stellar. And it's just real funny because this garden here was my first focus. This was my playground. And this was I'm just going to dump some extra things over here. And it's really turning out beautiful. And it's making me reconsider. I mean, look at how beautiful these are here. And then you come into the purple hearts. I mean, look how thick they are. This has piping or tubes or something down in here, water line. I don't know what it is. So this is always going to be empty. They have some kind of evergreen ground cover here. And there are some weeds back there I need to clean up with. But this is turning out lovely because it's the way that the ground cover is blending with the purple back there. And I keep trimming back. The rose bush here because I'm trying to create this to be bushier. So this has been a work in progress, and I don't know anything about rose bushes. So, that's just been fun. But what I'm going to do soon is when we get a lot of rain on the forecast, I'm going to divide these up, and I'm going to put them over in this corner too. So this will be nothing but this sea of purple surrounding this evergreen cover here. And then there's 2 rose bushes because there's a baby one here too. Let me show you from the far end over here. So this just has a little bit of weeding, and when I do that, that'll be nice. So let's do a slow walk. Okay, let's keep walking. Let's look at the rest of my garden. Let's go to the porch side now. This is a hardy geranium. These are my favorites. I'm going to overwinter this one. These are my tomato plants. I still have little blooms coming in. Yep, and this one's almost gone, but look. So those are my vegetable plants. Those are flowers I'm not going to put in the garden because I don't want them to die. This is a mint plant. This is a Coleus cutting, and this is where the Coleus garden begins. I've got many different varieties, and I don't know any of their names, so have fun with that. But everything you see here on the stairs, these are the green ones, are brand new plants I bought this year, and I've already taken some cuttings that are doing well from these. The reds or the pinks are cuttings I have done from other plants, and they're doing just stellar. I mean, look at this. It's just, you know, I don't know if the camera will really do justice for how lush these turned out. They're beautiful. You know, and, you know, my neighborhood cat likes to sleep under there. I'm going to back up a little bit, show you from this view. But look how pretty it's turning out. Or turned out. It's been outstanding. And all of these guys are going to come back in the house in October. I'm going to cut them down and then overwinter them. And they'll be back out here next year because I'm so pleased. And I do have a canna that has been doing very well, still blooming. And I've never seen it do this before. This plant is very new to me. What is this? Are these seeds? If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. But that's how my porch is looking. That's how my garden is looking. Let's go look at the houseplants. I have been struggling with houseplants this year. A lot of my plants have yellowed out and have been dying back. And it makes no sense to me. The ones that I'm showing you right now are the ones that are surviving and apparently doing well. I got a couple pythos here and 3 of the snake plants. So these are doing really nice at least. But let me talk about my monsteras. I've brought all my monsteras outside. Let me show you the video clip I did back in June, and then we'll come back to what's happening here. So I brought all of my large houseplants out here. I've got 2 tree philodendrons and a couple monsteras, and this is peace lily here. Over the last month, they all started browning away. I mean, it's not pretty, not pretty. So I brought them all out here so we could see how they do outside for the summer, and I'll bring them back in October. But I'm really disappointed because they were doing really well in the house the last 2 years, and I don't know what caused this. So needless to say, I was feeling very defeated watching everything die. And so I thought the only thing that I could do now is just stick them outside and let them do their own thing. So I brought my monsteras. I've got 2 of them here and 2 of them down there. I'll give you a close-up. I brought those out here, and I brought my tree philodendrons out here. And I brought them out here, and I decided to ignore them, and they're doing stellar. so And as a side note, these are the cuttings of the Coleus that I brought, or that I'm working right now. And these are the other ones here. I find they do so much better when I start them in dirt versus in water. But look at these though. Look at this brilliant leaf, right? And how thick it's coming. There were moments where I know I should have come out and filmed it, like when I got really mad at it because it was so ugly and I just cut away everything dead. Well, obviously it did well because, I mean, look at how bushy these guys are. This guy here, you know, they're just reaching for the sky, you know. Who was that, Jimi Hendrix? No, that was Kiss the Sky. I remembered, look. But my fiddle fig is not doing well. You can see all the leaves that are falling off there. That's a thyme plant. I don't know if I'm going to keep and repot and bring in the house or not. This guy's doing so much better. You can see the new growth coming in compared to how it looked 2-3 months ago. This is one that's still being nurtured. This is my peace lily and one of those dragonias or something like that. This is my other Monstera, getting many new leaves and such on it. Beautiful. But look at this. Look at this. This guy was literally cut down to one branch. And that one can be chopped off too. Cut it to one branch. And then it kicked out one leaf. You know? I mean, look at that. Look at that. This is... I mean, it looks very wonderful when I look outside now and I see all of this lush green. But it has looked awful for many, many months. And it's amazing to me, maybe not, that when I stuck them out here and I ignored them, they started doing well. They get about 3 or 4 hours of late afternoon sunlight, and I water them every other week. That's it. So there you go. As disappointing as my garden was in the front, and as disappointing as my houseplants were early in the season, I'm so pleased to be able to end this video on a happy note with the way at least the indoor plants are turning out. And of course, my porch plants. Anyway, and it's been a while. I apologize. I apologize to my garden friends that have kind of wondering what's going on here. Oh, thank you for taking the time to watch, guys. I'll see you soon.